All right. Well, welcome to episode 58 of the Young Old Heads podcast, live from the National. I'm here. My name is Tommy, aka TV Sports Cards on Twitter and Instagram. And I'm here with my good friend and co-host Max, aka Cards Max on Twitter and Instagram. And as of yesterday, TikTok, apparently. I don't know what his TikTok content is going to be like, but we'll see. AKA Cards Max, the National Edition. Max, how are you doing?
I'm a mixed bag, mixed box. We don't know what's going to come up on TikTok. I believe we're at episode 60. Is the mic going?
Yeah,
about half a year or so doing the podcast. It's great. And I'm a little upset at Tommy for this being his first day at the National so far, because we know how many people have been here every single day. But I'm ready to get right into it.
Yeah, I mean, today's my only day in Disneyland, as I like to say to people today. But I think it's good for this podcast because I want to hear, what your experience has been like. What have you been up to? What deals have you made? Where those deals have gone down?
So I do some collecting. I do some flipping. I am in an existential collecting crisis. For those that don't know, I PC and collect Gleyber Torres when he was much more expensive back in 2018. I felt like I climbed that mountain sufficiently, owning a Bowman Chrome autograph and PSA 10 Sapphire, and now I'm just questioning what I collect next.
Yeah, well, this show, it's a little crazy. I was trying to buy some cards. I came in with I was like, I've been saving up for a few months. It's the National, you like to save up, try to go big on a card, but I didn't really find any cards that I was looking to spend a lot of money on today, but I did find a lot of cheap ones. So what has your experience been like on the deals? Like, have you been buying a lot of smaller cards or a lot of bigger cards?
I try not to be very emotional. If anything, I am a stoic human being who takes blows as they go. But your mood in general going for the day can directly affect your buying habits. And I'm not just speaking to impulsiveness. If you go into the mentality and the mindset that, I'm going to find good cards today, I'm going to find some fun stuff, I'm going to dig not just through the value boxes, but try to find everything, then that is a mentality that is conductive to success. My Wednesday morning and Wednesday afternoon, I ant myself up in the morning. I'm like, I'm going to buy some cards today. I'm like, I'm going to war on the value boxes. I'm going to find so many cool stuff. And I bought so many Shohei Ohtani cards, both in photo variations. I think I picked up a dual autograph with Shohei Ohtani and Nolan Ryan to start Monday, not Wednesday, Monday, because I get up and I cards every single day. But on Thursday, and even more so today I had to have a 3-hour wait in the Beckett line for a Raw Card review, and that's a little Debbie Downer on everything. That's actually was what I was doing directly before this podcast. But that has dampened my mood a little bit. I'm great because I'm on the stage now.
Yeah.
My Thursday was a little bit slower because I was so burnt out from Wednesday. So the key takeaway that I want to emphasize here is if you go in saying, I want to buy cardboard today, I'm going to find cool stuff today, and that's going to lead both in buys for flipping purposes and in finding the dang stuff.
Yeah.
That being said, I found the stuff in showcases gets cleared out very quickly in the beginning of the week, like the key stuff. But there's still some nuggets here and there if you look properly.
So this is my first day at the National this Saturday. Like, what percentage of what was here originally on Wednesday do you think is still left in the showcases and in the value boxes?
It depends on if other people have the similar interest of what you want. Like on day one, I found an opening day Juan Soto bat drop image variation. And for those that don't know ball, opening day image variations from Topps' star players like Trout and Soto and Bryce Harper and Clayton Kershaw and whoever that is a collectible player, they are so short printed relative to the normal traditional retail pack that they're impossible to find. But the collectors that love paying a premium. I will pay a premium for it on my own Gleyber Torres collection as well, finding a super cool and unique image variation for opening day. But I found that Wednesday, and I'm like, all right, I'm taking this. I found a Mike Trout 2015 snow camo out of 99. I'm like, yeah, that's never seen the light of day. I'm taking this. I found a full career run I found 6 of Mike Trout's black Heritage Chrome refractors out of about 70 each. I found those Wednesday. I'm swooping them up. I'm not letting them sit. So when you're entering the show on Saturday, your more unique stuff that everyone knows is cool has kind of already been put aside and kind of already has been purchased already. But the ceiling is the roof, and the roof is in the universe.
The roof is not the universe. I like that. I'm gonna clip that one for you. So I had 2 friends today who had never been to a card show who came out to the National for their first card show ever. they were a little overwhelmed. I had to kind of guide them around, give them the hobby knowledge as we walk by showcases and value boxes. Max, if you were showing someone around who's never been to a card show before at the National, what would your strategies be?
Well, let's look at the actual example. Shout out Errol, who is our soccer collector. And from my understanding, Tommy, I know you're closer friends with him than I am. He more casually collects. He tries to find the big PC ads here and there. And I saw him with a 2017 refractor PSA 9 of Mbappe, which is Mbappe's rookie card. And I genuinely love that pickup from a collecting standpoint. I love that it's not base. I love that refractors from 2017 have a print run of about 900 copies. Yes, I know print run copy like this off the dome. Do not test me. I will beat you. And you're satiating the yearning to get a marquee player while also getting something old enough to still be unique. Well, that also balances the demand and it being short printed. Like if it were I don't know who 2022 UEFA rookies are, but if you were to go down that route and you're going the parallel route that way and you're just trying to maximize your dollar, I wouldn't be able to say the collecting satiation is maximized from that, because something that we talk about often is the dink to dollar ratio.
Yes, very
and
important.
I think for a relatively common, or some might say liquid card, the dink to dollar ratio on Mbappe refractors is high.
That's a good way of putting it, Max. Shout out Errol, especially for giving me a ride this morning. I appreciate that very much. He made sure that I got here and was able to search through value boxes and come here for this podcast. So shout out Errol. Max, for this episode, we requested that our listeners submit some questions for us because not everyone can make it to the National, but I wanted everyone's questions to still be heard out here.
Casuals.
So we have one question from a listener named @GabyCardStacks on YouTube. Great content out there. He says, what is one thing you would like to see at a future National that you think can, quote, 10x the hobby, quote, question mark?
I'm going to annihilate the low-hanging fruit joke and say air conditioning. But if we're thinking bigger than that, again, as someone who waited in a lot of lines today, the supply chain aspect of that, or whatever the human being equivalent of a supply chain is, needs to be addressed. Which, if anything, is demonstrating of incredible demand for both, not just the Beckett Raw Card Review line, which I had a long time at, but the Topps booth, the Panini booth, where there's appointments only, all these other, the Leaf booth with real human being Brian Gray did not have any lines. I very much wanted to participate in the Rapper Redemption program, but I was saddened to find out that Leaf Metal Baseball, one of their biggest products, was sold out everywhere on Thursday. I wanted to buy a box to rip. I went to my friend Jason Dardick of Dynamic Card Innovation. I'm like, dude, let's rip something. And he's like, cool. I'm like, let's do it. I was going to get a box for both of us. And then every DA Card World, Blowout, every Waxy Archimon was out of Leaf Metal Baseball. And it saddened me. But Leaf had no lines. DCI, where I got my RCR Raw Card Review for 3 of my cards this morning, was in 10 minutes. So shout out DCI for not having lines. But yeah, to what could 10x the hobby? People that don't see lines and are like, okay, I don't want to do this. I don't want to participate in this freebie promotion. I don't want to, oh, wow, I can learn this cool new thing that Fanatics is teasing. Oh, but there's an hour line even to sit in the teaser video where there's not even a freebie, let alone if there is a freebie. So maybe it's a boring answer, but I think it's a true answer.
To take the positive spin, I do think that some of these companies had such good promotions that like the demand was very high for them. So shout out that. But also, I do agree that I think there's more that can be done in terms of like segmenting the dealers and what is available and making it clear to someone who might not go to card shows. So I saw that Ludex had an interactive map with like some of the dealers and what stuff they had. I think adding to the show experience with, technology that makes it easier to figure out where you're going and what you're looking for could definitely be something that also helps, make card shows more accessible and have, people make more transactions.
And jumping off that, like I am a cardboard lover. I'm a vintage philic person. And there were, especially if you walk into the main hall, there's a big allotment of tables that are all vintage. And then you can see some of the modern dealers that are together. One of the biggest things is just we can't have it's incredible that we've had dealers support the hobby for the decades to where we were before the pandemic to now we were at the pandemic, because that was ultimately the great equalizer in trading cards. Although you were a COVID hobby collector, I re-entered as an adult in 2019. I beat the very Gary V. Boom. I am a true collector of the hobby. But there are too many dealers that have 4 or 5 or 6 tables allotted to them with stuff that isn't selling, with stuff that is overpriced. I understand that baseball cards and sports cards is more than just your modern dealers and your modern collectors, but this is preventing many, not just marquee names. I don't really care if you're famous or not and you're getting a table or not. I want promotion to the hobby. And there's a lot more people that are a lot more dynamic in the hobby, that are a lot more active in making deals that would make more value of these tables. Maybe that's why they're selling for $5,000 or $10,000 on the secondary market just to have a table. And these dealers that have had tables for the past 15 years are wasting them, and that's not just a waste for themselves. That's a waste for the people walking by and saying, "Why am I looking at dead people?"
Well, you buy a lot of cards from those people sometimes.
Sometimes. I have not bought a single vintage card this show.
Well, Gaby had another question for us. He said, if you could own an existing one-of-one of an athlete from the school that you went to, who would it be and what set is it from?
Oh, for me, it's easy. It is the 2022 Bowman University Sam Hartman Superfractor autograph. I found it on eBay one day. It was asking $800. I thought, that's too steep. I'm going to intentionally avoid that. Or I think it was asking like $2,000, something like that, and it sold for $800. And after that, I was like, wow, that was a price that I actually would have been okay paying. So I went to Wake Forest from 2018 to 2022. Sam Hartman was a true freshman starting quarterback when I was a true freshman. He was in my year. It pains me that he is now transferring to an ACC-affiliated school in Notre Dame, and that those Bowman University cards are probably his only cards in a Wake Forest uniform. That is probably the one that got away, but at the same time, I have a gold vinyl one of the quarterback that I equally liked that started almost as often as Sam Hartman. I will buy low once he does poorly and is a low NFL draft pick.
And, it's not a great time to be a Northwestern sports fan, so I don't know if I'm going to call out a specific athlete here, but it is I would say the best college cards to me are the bowl patch cards from like National Treasures, where it has the patch from the bowl game. So I like those. If I was going to own a one-on-one of a college card, that would probably be it. We got a question from our listener, Hayden. Big shout out to Hayden at HBMiller27 on Twitter. One of the best sellers and just knowledgeable guys on cards out there. He asked Max, what is your favorite Topps Chrome Refractor / color and Topps flagship parallel?
Topps flagship parallel is a really easy answer to just say Topps black. I don't want to just conform and be into this big conglomerate collector that just loves and worships Topps black parallels, but it really is so classic. There's not many parallels that go back to 2004 and are traditional and released every single year with blacks and golds parallels, no matter what, increasing by only one parallel each year. So that would probably is leaned as my favorite flagship parallel. As for Chrome parallel, it's hard to deny the power of a Topps red refractor. Out of 5, status, you're looking at something rare, but not rare enough to where it's obscenely priced like a superfractor. Also, although superfractors also have so much staying power in the hobby, so much so that Panini copies them and calls them cold vinyls. So much that we have copycats of each other, but I'm going to lean towards the Topps Gold Refractor just because it's common enough to have significance. Gold and black are the colors of the hobby, and a nice rainbow sheen giving up so much luster on a baseball card. It's hard to lean anything else.
I think it's hard to argue with those answers. You went with pretty basic answers. I saw today a guy had a stack of 10 Hope Diamonds from 2011. From just like random guys, all PSA 9s. Hadn't seen that many Hope Diamonds in one place in a while, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm actually upset I haven't walked the floor with you yet, Tommy.
I know.
You owe me time.
We have an hour after this. We're going to speed walk around the entire place. It's going to be great. But I think my favorite Topps Chrome refractor is definitely the X-Fractor. I think it's just like iconically Topps Chrome. Panini obviously has tried to copy it in other ways, but that's just the iconic
Right.
Topps
Is
Chrome
there-
refractor to me.
Is there a fun question that we have?
Well, I was also going to call it the fact that you said Topps Black Parallels as like your favorite when I have a box here that does not have any Topps Black Parallels, the 2007 box.
Boo.
Yeah, I got some fun questions. Stead Fiber says, in what way has Stead Fiber changed your life?
I love that I am able to properly polish and clean my cards through the use of Stead Fiber.
I've never tried it.
It's a great drug.
Can't be a testimonial for that. All right, Evan, i.e. Yank45.
Okay.
He asked, what do you think of the state of grading in so-called junk slab era? I saw tag grading out there. That was pretty cool.
I think junk grading is, I keep thinking to myself that junk grading is dead or near dead, but then people just keep proving me wrong. People are able to find $2 Topps now LA De La Cruz LA De La Cruz base cards, send them for $19 grading, and then they're selling for $130 as a 10 now, and the rationale is, hey, even if they're $70, I'm still cooking it and killing it. But it's such a select amount of cards that you can do this crazy arbitrage, big brain type of play. I don't try to waste my time and resources trying to find it just because I think card sourcing is such a difficult thing to do unless you are the card sourcer or card sorcerer. That I would rather just focus more on higher end and try to do stupid things like cracking and sending to other companies.
Well, I personally don't really care about the junk slab era or even talking about it that much because I don't really buy that many graded cards. I even asked you, Max, earlier, when you crash on my couch on Sunday night before your flight home, if you could crack some of my cards for me because honestly, I'd rather just have them in one touches or in my binder than graded right now. So hard for me to answer that personally, but
I know you're a behavioral econ guy.
That is
and
true.
And I'm a more mathematical, chemical, quantitative guy. I just love seeing numbers by stuff. It's like I don't want, like if I have a Topps Black and it is a PSA 7, I kind of respect it in a PSA 7 slab because I know exactly how to adjudicate the condition of that card. What is our Rapid Refractor, Tommy?
Well, for the listeners back home, we're actually having this recorded on video too, but I'm ripping a 2007 Topps update box on stage right now, and I pulled not the Topps Chrome refractor that I wanted. In 2000 update, they had no Topps Chrome update product itself, but they had Topps Chrome hobby box topper packs, so I just ripped that.
And of course, we all know the biggest names from 2008 update.
Yes.
Clayton Kershaw, Max Scherzer, Chrome rookies.
Are you familiar with the Topps Chrome update history, Max, very much?
I know ball, but you can enlighten me.
They just didn't do it every year, which is kind of weird. You know, it's one of those things that they brought in, they took out, they brought back.
You know what I
I'm
want a
fan.
history lesson of
What?
when they truncated the name from Topps Traded and Highlights to Topps Traded and Update Highlights to just Topps Update. I need a history lesson on that.
Can someone make a YouTube video about that? Eric Whiteback, if you're out there, please make that YouTube video. We have a question from a good guest, Mitch, at IMO Mitch on Twitter.
Okay.
He said, stoked y'all are live at the National. Thanks, Mitch. We are also stoked.
I am stoked.
He said, what is your guys' favorite part of card Twitter? We've talked a bit about the glory days of COVID card Twitter, but what is each of your favorite parts of the community that keep you coming back and are exclusive to the platform and community that has grown?
I think one of the biggest things with collecting is that we're able to share it with so many people. At beginning, with my own collecting, it's like I didn't have anyone to tell it to. It's like I have to burden my friends about my growing PSA 10 Gleyber Torres base collection. And none of them understand it. None of them really get it. None of them can tell the difference between an Allen and Ginter or Gypsy Queen or even know what that even means. I encourage everyone here to find your community and find people that can share like-minded views and find cards that you enjoy. I think Instagram is very useful for showboating and sharing and talking about yourself, while Twitter is a better avenue to share with others what you enjoy and furthermore curate discussion about issues. You have your regulars, you have your people. Even if there's not someone that I'm meeting in person and shaking their hand, I know their name and face. I know who has the biggest Harrison Butker collection in the world. And I don't need to interact with them personally to respect that and to love that.
Yeah, I'm always a big fan of card Twitter as a way of, continuing the hobby outside of these like in-person events like shows. I always say that Twitter is the best because you can actually interact with thoughts. So, like on Instagram, you can post and have comments, but there's not really change that come off of those comments.
You know me, I love thoughts.
You love thoughts. Who are some of your favorite people to follow on Twitter, and what sort of knowledge have you learned from them, Max?
I enjoy those back pages as a very strong critic of Topps and Fanatics production and what our standard for something used to be. He's very good at reminding others of what that should be. Other key follows, it's tough in terms of content. Tommy, who are some of yours?
I'm a big...
give me a pack.
I'll give you a pack. My bad.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of Logan's League. I mean, you can just find good deals.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys on Twitter who are
Stack
here at
Selling
the show.
King, Logan's League.
Dixon's Cards is the guy who actually brought me into cards originally in 2020. But, Max, what was the last question? We had one more question from a listener. He asked... It's from a guy, Will Stern. Do you know Will Stern?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
What does he do? Can you give people background on Will Stern?
He is the content manager of At Rally Road, a asset fractionalization company to where you can invest in 52 mantles and classic cars and Rolexes and NFTs. You can own, this is not a paid ad or endorsement, this is just my evaluation of the company. And Will Stern is a great guy, and he's a very funny guy as well. But yeah, you can buy, I don't want to say stocks or securities, I don't know if that's technical, but you can buy a share of a 52 mantle, and he does a lot of their content, and he's been up to a lot of shenanigans lately.
Yes, he is up to a lot of shenanigans. He actually asked how handsome is he on a scale of 9 to 10.
Below me.
Below you. All right. Who have you done deals with, Max, this week? You said that some of the tables you weren't getting good vibes from. But who were good dealers? Who are some of your favorite people you got to interact with? What were those interactions like this weekend?
I've circled a lot to at Henry Reynolds Cardboards. I guess I should probably give booth numbers. Or I don't have to, but like as well. Give me a second.
Henry Reynolds is a notoriously great guy. He has some of the best cards. He always has like SGAs, which I appreciate because, we're not a sports analysis podcast. I think, a lot of card podcasts out there do a lot of sports analysis, and we try to stick to the cards. And I think that's why, the National is such a great event because it is about the cards.
Yeah. I want to say 1353 is Henry Reynolds Cardboard. And his mantra for the weekend has been, I have really cool vintage and I have really high eye appeal vintage relative to the grade. But I am going to be I'm going to try to be one of the most competitive price-wise in the room. And when you go to the vintage area and you're looking for a card, there is an aspect of where comps don't matter if something is genuinely so rare. But Henry is going to try to be close to market value on stuff that's at collector prices or a little bit below that, where other dealers don't even touch that. Yeah, he's my shout out.
He's your shout out for the week.
He is my dealer shout out. I want to say it's booth 1353.
My dealer shout out is at Uncommon Curator, Mark. He has some of the coolest vintage cards. My friend Errol picked up a bunch of 1969 Real Madrid cards that were pretty cool. And Mark always has some like weird non-sport stuff. He's tucked kind of in a corner. And we have someone who did not submit a question for us, but
yeah, an alleged number one fan to our right at Saratoga Slabs.
He always buys good Topps Black parallels. Like the Sammy Sosa hits his 600th home run goal.
That is a dank card.
It's pretty good.
But like the thing I respect about that is that like in regard to like junk slabs, I think most superstar flagship blacks and gold parallels or refractors. Give me another pack.
All right. What did you pull in your first pack?
I pulled a Brian Wolf rookie card and a Danny Putnam rookie card and banger, Felix Pie.
Felix Pie was hyped when he was coming up. There's some good wax here. I'm not talking modern wax. I'm talking like the golden age of collecting, which hot take is from 2002 to like 2013.
Oh yeah, so this is second year. 2007 Topps Baseball is the second year of what we know as the rookie card logo. Before that, we just acknowledged rookie cards as
That's
just
true.
Being the first card in a numbered checklist that is pack pullable. So that was introduced in 2006. Part of the controversy was that Justin Verlander has his draft picks cards in 2005, and I think also has some rookie card logo cards in 2007 as well. I'm not entirely sure on that.
He has one, but I think it's like considered more of an error card than a rookie card.
Do you know much about the Alex Gordon rookie card logo scandal?
The box cutout one.
Yes, I know it. I wish I knew ball enough to be able to comment on this, but I know it said something to do with the MLBPA and prospects not being able to get a card until they were on the 40-man roster or the 25-man roster. So Topps, due to legal issues, did everything they could to remove Alex Gordon rookie cards, who was an integral to that 2015 World Series run, but also was a top prospect at the time. There are so many cutout versions or variations during the production process of Alex Gordon rookie cards. I implore every collector to explore the saga of that.
It's an interesting thing, and you need a PhD in cards to understand rookie cards prior to 2006. It's a little confusing. People nowadays even argue about like 2000 Bowman or 2020 Bowman Heritage. Is that the product, Max?
Which year of Heritage?
The Bowman Heritage product that everyone thinks.
Yes, that's 2020. So 2021 Bowman's Best. Let's start even earlier. Bowman's Best traditionally has a prospect subset, which has, I believe, Bowman's Best prospect dash a number or BBP dash a number, something like that. And then the traditional major league checklist going for about 150 or 200 names, where you have your major league players. In 2021, due to production oversight or whatever, Bowman's Best is a relatively large release at the end of each product cycle year. They combined the prospect checklist into the main checklist, so it was just one large 300-player checklist or something like that, something of the like. And so Wander Franco, who is obviously a very large prospect, Marcelo Meyer, Jason Dominguez, because they were integrated into the main and only checklist as a 1 to 300 name, many vintage collectors and traditional collectors, adhering to Beckett's traditional idea of what a rookie card is, deemed these rookie cards or considered these to be rookie cards, while your modern collector to do rookie card logos doesn't consider these as much. So the only other prospect inclusive product that year, which was 2021 Bowman Heritage, which was set to release about 2 or 3 weeks later online at Topps.com, suddenly just never dropped. It would eventually released in early 2023 was when 2021 Bowman Heritage released as a bundle for 2022 Bowman Heritage. But is to address this controversial oversight of the prospect subset being included in the main checklist. Not to add that the prospect subset has a prospect subset design that is different than the major league player design.
Pulled a Jose Molina gold legend.
Do you know offhand how many packs you need in order to get a Topps Gold parallel in 2023?
2023? Oh, it's probably like 8x what it was in 07.
So in 2007, you can get Topps Gold cards in 1 out of every 4 packs. I had to solve some time for there. And in 2023, it is 1 out of every 17 packs in a hobby box, where you're quite literally getting 1 gold per hobby box.
And for the record, this hobby box cost me $115, which was maybe an overpay, but
that's
I wanted
like
to rip
$30
something.
higher than it is 15 years old, give or take. Can I math? I don't know.
Sometimes you can math. Well, Max, did you check out the LUTX interactive map?
I have. I used it to find my dealers.
Yeah? Which dealers did you find?
Well, I had a meetup with a person on eBay at booth 2137. I spent 30 minutes familiarizing myself with the interactive map just to realize that that booth doesn't exist, and the person meant 1237, so that was fun.
That's super fun.
Yeah, I dealt a Max Muncy Orange Shimmer autograph, who Max Muncy also collects, so that's pretty cool.
Young Max Monks?
Young Max Muncy, not old Max Muncy. I haven't even talked about some of my deals this weekend.
Yeah, talk about them.
Okay, so for longtime hardcore listeners of the Young Old Heads podcast, I owned a 2001 Bowman Chrome Albert Pujols autograph out of 500. I bought it at Heritage for about $7,200, and I was able to exit it at about $9,000 in trade, $8,700 in trade, to a good friend at Cards Jake. That was his entry point. And the rationale for that, who we had a friend Also, Pujol, no ball knower at 22's card, someone who respects the early Bowman Chrome autograph, said, hey, comp doesn't matter. You're going to be able to get $9,000 cash. Apparently, there was a PSA 8 on the show floor that moved for $12,000 cash, but last comp was $9,600. So for a card that's so marquee and iconic like that, which is common for vintage, well, more palatable for vintage and your lower end of vintage, but harder in your higher end modern, you can command above comp and get it just because who else in the room is slinging it? Who else in the room has one? So it was a mutually beneficial trade for both parties. I also traded out my Jackie Robinson cut autograph for I want to make sure I get the players right. 1980 Topps, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Julius Erving triple card with it being an Irving and Magic Johnson rookie. All three of the minis were autographed, but the Larry Bird auto was smeared. So I traded my Jackie Robinson cut auto for that and $900.
Is that the first vintage basketball card you've ever owned?
Yes. I'm king of the universe. I do everything. I tell people that I'm 70% baseball and 30% everything else, but having hobby breadth is just impactful as a collector. Like I say all the time, I do vintage not because of the stories of the players, but because it's card history and I genuinely love cardboard. And seeing the rarity of it is what makes it cool to me. I see you have a hit, Tommy.
I hit a Ben Sheets All-Star Game relic. That's tough. That's not what you want to pull. It's all right, though.
Is it one relic or autograph per box?
I'm not going to say what my nickname for Ben Sheets was growing up.
Is it the similar nickname to Ben Haynes?
All right, keep talking about what you bought, though. I want to hear other deals that you made. You sold the pools, which was one of your more expensive cards.
One of my more expensive cards. I submitted. No, I don't want to talk about Beckett. I've been talking about Beckett enough.
What did you submit, though? What did you submit?
I submitted a Chet Holmgren Black Pandora autograph, a Paolo Banchero Kaboom, and a Josh Giddey Downtown from 1-1. Yo, Tommy, isn't this dank? Giants legend Yusmeiro Petit base card.
He is a legend. That's sick.
Was he?
I got so many gold parallels, but none of them are what you want. None of them are the ones that you want.
This is a cool card. I feel like there's actually like flipping ability in this just because you're getting packed bold fresh cards of like the Derek Jeter, Jorge Posada, Alex Rodriguez. Like some churner could grind this out and try to make like $50 of that as a PSA 10. This is a Cameron Maben rookie card.
There's a lot of good rookies.
Yankees legend. It's crazy to me that the gold parallel of that is probably like $5.
If that.
Yeah.
Here's Verlander. No rookie card, though, on it.
Okay, I'm ripping another pack.
Keep ripping. Have you ripped any Wax Max? I saw you rip something.
Oh, my God. Don't get me started.
No, at least say what you ripped.
No, I mean in a good way and a bad way. So we have to, I've been saying the story all week, but we have to enumerate it in the podcast. So Topps has promotional packs where if you present them a sealed hobby box, they will undo the seal and they will present you a promotional Bowman pack. These packs have refractors and rare cards and whatever. You can get autographs, everything else under the sun. So I bought 10 Archive Signature Series boxes for $75 each. I sold them to a buddy for $380, so just so that I can get my packs. I very much try to do game theory because we have a behavioral economist on the podcast. And my buying, I love buying Topps now just because I can try to make and do the game thinking of if trying to hunt the numbered parallel makes sense on if I buy a 20 pack and I can sell the bulk or whatever, partly for the fun of the hit, but also just as to tickle that little inner gambler in me. I think that's part of the fun. So anyways, seeing promotional packs like this, it makes it very fun. So Topps has a daily limit of 12 packs per day, and me and my friends, we were at about 48 packs total. One of my friends got a Topps Chrome jumbo box. So he overflowed his 2 packs to me. So I'm getting 12 packs. I'm like, hold on, like, let me, I don't know if I want to pick which packs I want. Like, I'm like, oh, wait, I learned all these packs of mine. And he's like, no, you only got 10 boxes. I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot. So he just, like, takes 2 packs. And I'm like, dude, like, calm down. Like, no, it wasn't like, dude, calm down. I'm like, okay. And, like, I slowly enjoyed ripping my packs, trying to get my autograph. I went 10 packs, didn't get much. I got an orange Julio Rodriguez out of 25 as my biggest hit, and maybe a 20 orange out of 25 Christian Hernandez. And he has his 2-packs, and he's about to put them in with the rest of them. I'm like, dude, you got to open those 2-packs right now. And he's like, dude, like, there's no autograph. I'm like, dude, you have to open these 2-packs right now. I need closure. I mean, maybe this is just a reflection of me and my romantic relationships as well. Like, I'm bad if I don't get closure. But so I made him open the 2-packs in front of me. He was like fine to do it. He was like indifferent. Like, okay, cool, I guess. Pulls an Ellie De La Cruz sticker auto out of 25.
That's classic for you.
And then in his own personal packs, he also, granted he bought a lot of other wax, he pulled in Anthony Volpe out of 50 sticker autograph. And whoever the top soccer rookie was, he pulled that autograph out of 10 in his UEFA pack. But it stung so much not being able to get that Elliot Cruz auto.
Max, one fun fact about 2007 Topps. They actually have red backs, special parallels, hobby only, 2 per pack.
Really?
So check out the backs. The lettering of the name is red instead of white. Those are parallels.
I love this J. Happ Philadelphia Phillies card I have. I just love seeing older, like, present players in older uniforms. Thank you, Brock from Ludex. I'm very parched. So, Tom, you've been here for a few hours.
Yeah.
What have you accomplished so far at this national? What do you want to accomplish in the next day and a half? And what do you want to accomplish next year?
Really, it's all, for me today, it was about seeing my friends and just walking around, getting the experience. I mean, there's guys
Tommy
like,
has a lot of those.
There's guys like Jake Snyder out there who are just hobby legends, really. You know, they grind the dollar boxes. They just know ball. They know checklists. They know why cards are cool. And I like hanging out with them, you know, hearing what they're up to. I mean, I love seeing everyone who I worked with at Ludex, you know. They're doing great stuff out here. This lounge is exactly the vision that I was, you know, seeing from them. It's a great little escape from the craziness of the show, and it's a good vibe. It's a good vibe.
I want to jump on the dollar boxes. Dollar boxing is the heart of the hobby. Dollar boxing, not only just to fill binder, but also the, little hustler, I'm going to sell this card on Neep. I still, buy this Easton Stick auto for $2 at a dollar box and sell it for $20. That's just the heart of trying to find a good deal. And it's finding a good deal where it is a genuine handshake good deal, not a, I'm trying to screw you over type of good deal. But with that being said, like, I don't know, some people like put money in 401ks and some stuff. Almost swore. This is a hobby-friendly podcast. Some people like to retire or whatever. They like to put money in 401ks. Like, Tommy has like a real job. I just collect and flip baseball cards full time, and I love every minute of it for now until I get a real job. But later on that, like,
having a real job is overrated, though.
There is like everyone loves Euler's number. Everyone loves like compound growth. Everyone knows like what a natural log is here. That is a listener of the Young Old Heads podcast, because we are quantitatively inclined. I think it is Euler's number. It's like, it's a function of n, and it's like the more tables, it's like an anti-log of that. Like the inverse, the more tables that you have at a card show, the worse the cards are at a logarithmic decline. Like the National probably has one of, in my opinion, I'm not being a hater. I'm a lover. I'm not a hater. I'm a lover. But I didn't enjoy the value boxes at the National just because there's too many individuals attending it that are also value boxing and not enough value boxes to find. But everyone here is from all across the country. I've met people from Alaska. I haven't, but I've met people from all across the country. Go to your local card show. I can guarantee you can find so much gold in your local hobbyist that just has ripped a ton and just doesn't want to do the work. And that's not out of laziness. That's out of time resourcefulness. And I will munch every one of those cards for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I went to the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam a few weeks ago, Max. I feel like you guys are a little similar in your love for cards.
And you were at the Red Light District. No, he wasn't.
I'm glad you gave that shout out, because something that I love about the National is some of the dealers who have been here forever. Now that I've been here a few years, I start to recognize, I remember I bought cards from this guy. I'm going to go back to his table because I remember he gave me a good deal on some cards. So that's what I like about the National. You have pretty similar dealers year to year, so you can really get to know them. And I look forward to, as we're the young old heads, but as we become the old heads, we,
Yeah.
become those people.
Yeah. I mean, I turn the ripe age of 24 soon. So I'm wondering when my youth will fully escape me. I have my phone alarm going off. That's not cool.
Usually, my girlfriend now knows that if my phone alarm goes off in the middle of the day, it's because an eBay auction is going down, and I need to remind myself.
Have you considered using this app called Kixen, which is $6 per year?
Yeah, but sometimes the price that I'm willing to go on an auction changes as the time goes down.
Really, because I think of how it's, as a healthy hobbyist, I want to make sure that I am at my number, and regardless of what it is, like if it goes $300 above a number, I'm like, okay, well, I was at my number, and I can live with that, and it's cool.
That's not how I live life, but I respect that you can live your life that way.
How do you live life?
I live life, as I said, depends what I'm willing to pay as the time goes down on the eBay auction. It changes as the shot clock goes down.
Does iGen, the generation after Gen Z, have an understanding of retail parallels and Topps' numbering system, or has that entirely died out in collecting and the younger generation is just so hyper-focused on flipping and making cash?
Well, I think Topps does a good job of making cool parallels in retail. Like recently in Series 2 of 2023 Topps, they put some pretty nice foil cards in the mega boxes, which I don't know if they've ever done a mega box exclusive for regular flagship baseball, but I appreciated them. I think they're cool. They're kind of like the old school opening day, even though RIP opening day.
The ice?
Yeah, the ice.
Like the ice parallel? Okay.
Yeah. All right, Max. Well, we end every show with eBay pickups.
Yes.
I hope you have some eBay pickups. I have one eBay pickup. We haven't done an episode in a couple weeks, so I have a few cards actually on eBay. This segment of our podcast is not sponsored by eBay.
Oh, absolutely.
We
not.
just are
we
on
roll
eBay all the time.
Yeah, I make fun of Tommy because he doom scrolls eBay when I'm just casually at his house or whatever. But then no one makes fun of me because I literally look at 2,000 listings a day on eBay, and I just do. But the difference is I just do it all at once.
Yeah, I'm kind of at lunch at work scrolling on eBay. People really confused what I'm looking at, sort of thing.
Okay, my 5 most recent eBay buys was another Josh Giddey downtown from Panini 1-on-1, a Jaden Ivey orange wave prism. I think that's numbered out of 79. 2 Drew Jones first Bowmans, 1 a red Mojo out of 5. And I thought that was a really cool grab. I got that and a True Gold. I got the True Gold for $350 out of 50, and I got the red Mojo for $510. So I thought that just makes the red just such a good deal. And the last of those 5 was a Chet Holmgren Purple Shimmer Monopoly Prism. And just as a shout out to the podcast, there are 2 Jalen Williamses, both on the Oklahoma City Thunder. We are wondering when every player will change their name to Jalen Williams on the Oklahoma City Thunder and become Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams is with 16 Jalen Williamses on the rosters. And my 6th most recent eBay buy was a Jalen Williams, Jalen with a Jalen, not Jaylin. Jalen Williams Purple Scope out of 20 from Panini Prism. Lots of stuff to grade. Not my usual baseball card parallel stuff, but I'm just diving into the auctions.
Jalen Williams is
in attendance in the audience, correct?
Jalen Williams is in attendance. Probably the best player in the NBA. All right, I have a couple of eBay pickups, Max. I'm going to jump in. If you have more, you can hop in at the end. I have a set that I've talked a lot about, 2009 Topps American Heritage.
Oh, my Lord.
There's Chrome Refractors out of 76 that are some of the nicest cards out there. I got a Helen Keller out of 76 Topps Chrome Refractor for $35 plus shipping.
Was it real?
It's a real card.
Was it a real person?
Yes, she was a real person. I'm trying to do the set long term. It's a pretty expensive set, but I think I have about 10 cards now. The other card I want to talk about that I bought on eBay recently was a 2011 Topps Black Border Giancarlo Stanton out of 60. I got that for $45, free shipping. Max, you know that I collect the gold cups pretty hard, and the black flagship parallels, as you talked about, are something that we like a lot. Wow, we haven't had an episode in a while. I have a lot of cards that I want to talk about. I have a 2023 Topps Series 2 Julio Rodriguez 35th anniversary gold out of 75. They finally put the gold cups on the 35th anniversary card, so I decided I was going to splurge a little bit. Paid $15 on that. Classic eBay buy by me.
And something that I love doing, like I buy bulk. I don't mystery pack. I don't whatever, any of that stuff. But I just go and nose to the ground, cards to eBay, listing it the old-fashioned way. Just to give a taste of the audience, my 3 most recent eBay sold cards. My first is a PSA 1.5 T206 of Eddie Collins. It is his portrait. It has the worst registration I've ever seen. It looks like he's a ghost, and that sold for $480 earlier today. The next is a 2017 Topps Joey Votto relic card. Fun fact, 2017 is the last year of Topps flagship where the relic cards are extremely thick. In 2018 and later, they make them thinner even if they're napkin relics. And that Joey Votto sold for $5. Back in 2020, I went to Big Lots hunting for 2018 update. During Aaron Judge's Mania in 2020, the second coming of it, I found 13 fat packs for $5 each, ripped all of them, did not pull a single Judge, a single Alex Bregman, and I don't think I pulled a single Andrew Benintendi either, so it really made me question if those packs were searched, but I am 99% sure that Joey Votto was from that pack opening hunt of those 13 fat packs. And my third most recent is a Riquelme de Castro refractor from Bowman's Best autograph for $5.99.
And I've also been flipping cards on COMC a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm really hyped about the COMC app, so I'll do a little test out of that this week and give a review on next episode. But
I'm a COMC hater. Tommy is a COMC lover, and I love to butt heads with him.
Yep, and can't wait to have a beer with Brock after this. I hope he gets me one so that I can have it after. Well, Max,
I think this is a wrap.
This is a wrap. Tell people where they can find you during the week.
People can find me during the week absolutely everywhere. I will be going to every trade night that's unofficial at Lowe's. I will be walking every table. I live and breathe cardboard, and I love every minute of it. You can find me online at CardsMax on Twitter and Instagram and eBay. But, don't buy my cards on eBay. Just let me know, and I'll hook you up. I love cardboard. Tommy, where can I find you?
At TV Sports Cards on Twitter and Instagram. And you can find our podcast, Young Old Heads Podcast, on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, etc.
Yeah. Tommy does environmental stuff. It's really cool. He composts. I'll end on the note that some people theorize that air is 70% oxygen and 25% nitrogen and 5% other stuff. It's really just 80% cardboard because I live and breathe cardboard.
See you guys next week.